looking at testing this design virtually in the simulation component of Fusion 360. One of the things that we've done to allow that to occur is we've created a small little platform here on the top of our truss, which is the same thickness as our member. Onto this, we will be using that surface to add force. So it'll be able to run the simulation for us. Before we get going, we need to choose our material. So if we go to Modify and the Physical Appearance, I'd suggest you set this to ABS if it's not already set to that. So we can just select on Plastics, you grab it, just drag it out onto your component. You can also create your own materials, in particular ABS. This does not have ABS. Yeah, I've got another video on our OneNote which shows how to do that. All right, so let's run the simulation now. So we go to Design and Simulation, and we wait, and we get this new study window coming up. We'll go do a static stress test, and we then select Create Study. Next thing that we're going to do, only 3 buttons we need to use, which is Constraint, and this structural constraint window comes up, and we're going to select Pin. We're going to select these 2 circles as our pin joint, and we go OK. Then we're going to add a load, a force, and we're going to be sort of zooming in here, and we're going to create that on this surface, the force down. And you need to think about what the force that you're going to add onto this will be. So I'm just going to say 50 newtons, something arbitrary, and select OK. All right, I'm then going to just sort of zoom this around to the right view and move down a bit, and then I'm going to create my study. So I select on Results and Simulate Results, and yes, and then I just have to wait. This is happening in the cloud, so I'm going to say Solve Study, and now I'm just going to wait for that to occur. And you know, it could take anywhere up to about 5 to 6 minutes to solve this study. If it goes any longer than that, I'd stop it and start again. Okay, great. It's completed the study. I'm just going to close that window, and you can see that the actual minimum factor of safety is 0.7. So if it was 1, then it would be sort of bang on. But it's sort of saying that for the whole thing, that's the minimum factor of safety. So you can see we've got some recommendations here that you can read and probably could use that information some way. I'm just going to close this. I've selected on the side view so that we can see what's happening here. So the factor of safety sort of says these are the issues that we've got with the material where it's red. So that's the minimum factor of safety goes up. So that, yeah, might be an issue. Really what we want to look at is stress. So stress is where the forces are occurring, and it's force over area, that's stress. So looking at that, we have here the higher stress components happening this part, which you can use that data. Also, we could think about displacement, saying it's 30 mil of displacement that's occurring from here to here. That's important if you want a stiff material. You might want to sort of make a comparison with other materials, how much displacement is occurring, and screenshot and use that information, create graphs and a whole variety of other things. Okay, so that's how in Fusion 360 you simulate a static force test.